Let's get it on!
Sprawl and brawl, ground and pound. Get ready for an MMA showdown. Now the ultimate Octagon insider, Sean and Tristan Ducross.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ducross Brothers Sports Warriors, the Warriors Den. I'm Tristan Ducross. Along my side, as always, is my brother, Sean Ducross. We have an incredible show for you guys tonight. Trust me, we got UFC 226 Fallout. We got Brock Lesnar talk, and the man behind all these bobbleheads that we have right here, Mr. Dave Manley, is coming on the show to showcase his latest bobblehead. In the meantime, go to www.MMABobblehead.com and get yours today. In the meantime, Sean, UFC 226. I ain't touching on the Brock Lesnar situation just yet. We will get to it shortly, though. But UFC, we saw for the second time a two-division champion in Daniel Cormier taking out Stipe Miocic and claiming the heavyweight title. Now, I was watching that, and one thing that I said on our show last week was that Stipe, in order to get the victory, he had to come out aggressive. He did nothing.
Stipe came out a little bit aggressive, not as aggressive as we're typically accustomed to. That is true. But when you look at the transition of facing a grappler, a world-class grappler in the case of Daniel Cormier, it went exactly how it was supposed to go out. You had to stay out of the clinch, out of that style of from Daniel Cormier, and go ahead and keep that distance. Stipe didn't keep that distance. He tried to engage in dirty boxing, tried to keep it dirty, and Daniel Cormier did exactly what he said months ago. Stipe has that tendency to drop his hands, raise his head up when he gets in the clinch. Once he did that, the guy got knocked out and got dropped. He went to sleep. You're now wondering what his stature is as a next level heavyweight. Did this tarnish his legacy? And I don't think it did, but if anything,
see, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt for being a double champ. But we're really talking about him being an undefeated heavyweight. The best heavyweight in the world. No, the best heavyweight in the world got beat, which was Stipe Miocic. And it's at the point of his career where I think he also came into this fight thinking that he would rather be at home with his wife and being at home with his unborn child. I think that's where his mind might have been coming into this fight, because he did not look like his same aggressive style coming into this fight. He didn't look like he had a whole lot. It looked like he went for a hug with DC before he got clipped with the right. So I'm looking at all these parameters that came into this fight, and I think DC isn't really what we're looking for right now. So we're having a sound issue. Okay, there it goes. Probably me. My bad. We're talking earlier. We're carrying on about some fighting. But we're good now. But yeah, so you look at the parameters that played into this fight, and I think there was a lot more that we're not talking about with Stipe, because this guy was the best heavyweight that the UFC had. Granted, he's not very marketable, but he was also the only real American being able to carry on a title and carry it and defend it over and over and over again.
I just felt bad for the fact that Stipe came in, didn't sell this card.
Nope.
This is going to be one of
sell this pay-per-view,
This is going to be one of the lowest pay-per-views that, again, it'll go tie into what our next segment is. But the speculation right now is that this card champ versus champ only did 400,000 pay-per-view buys. When you build it as champ versus champ, you kid me, right? This is bad day for Cleveland. Not only did you lose LeBron James a couple weeks ago, I said that Stipe had to come out pissed off and try to sell this card for the city of Cleveland. You couldn't even get Cleveland on your back. Cleveland just said, nah, we're good. You're just going ahead and be boring fighter too. Like, you feel bad for the city of Cleveland. Now they have nobody to root for. No LeBron James. Stipe's not the champion. What else is left?
I feel bad for Cleveland. They're literally taking their ball and going home. Stipe took his ball and went home, lost his title. Now he's going to go home. Congratulations to your child, your soon-to-be-born child, because that's about the only champion you're going to be holding up for a while is your own kid, because congratulations. But outside of that, man, every single person, what are you going to root for? Baker Mayfield? Tyrod Taylor? That's what Cleveland's looking for? Dang, dude, I'm sorry.
Well, at least we know Baker Mayfield's
Dog pound all the way. No, not really.
At least we know that Baker Mayfield's got more of a personality than Stipe Miocic. He would have probably sold that car.
Where's Johnny Football? Cleveland. Oh, wait, that's right. Champions just keep leaving.
Well, Johnny Mayfield's over in Canada.
Yeah, and performing pretty well over in Canada with the old Oregon quarterback that's now over there. But that's pretty much the claim to fame right now for Stipe.
Well, what
three-time division.
Tristan, what is the claim to fame for Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou being involved in the absolute worst heavyweight fight in the history of heavyweight fights?
Yo, and everybody dogged CM Punk's performance about him getting carried like a little baby and put down on the ground by Mike Jackson. And we're talking about Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. Both of them threw 31 punches combined.
Two fighters land 31 punches. Like, how the hell does that happen? Can somebody explain to me how two combatants can stand in the center of an octagon and not throw?
Man, I said this from the beginning.
I'm terrified to get hit in the face. I've said it 100 times.
I told you I would get hit in the face.
But I bet you 10-1 we would probably throw a little bit more than that.
Oh, absolutely. Who wouldn't throw more than that? Ngannou, bro, you were the man that was being puffed up to be the next star in the heavyweight division. You were the man that Dana White handpicked. You were the man that had the physique and all the tools in the making to be the top player in the heavyweight division. You got elevated way too quick, way too above your britches. And you, my friend, let it go to your head, got destroyed by Stipe Miocic so bad, he literally took your soul. Now what are you? A shell of a human. A shell of a fighter. Your ego is gone. It's been shattered. Your mindset destroyed. This ain't the Matrix. You ain't coming back. So, Ngannou, I don't see where he could possibly go up, but Derek Lewis has injury issues with his back that you could see at times in this fight where he was standing and trying to adjust his back. That's a problem.
You know, it was interesting because it was even said on UFC paper 226 was that it seemed like Ngannou was sitting back and not wanting and looking for that one haymaker because of the fact that he's got such a powerful punch. But you can't be that one-hit wonder. You can't be that guy. Look at Left Hook Lacey, former boxer. All he did was try to throw left hook after left hook. Ultimately, he tore his labrum and he never boxed again. So if you get that type of mentality of where, you know, all you want to do is look for that one home run punch, then the other guy's going to sit back looking for that counter. That's what Lewis did. Lewis won the decision. At the end of the day, was it the most exciting? No. Lewis runs away with it and gets an easy W. But there's so many ways to go with this. Derek Lewis, does he take on Volkov? I say, nah, that's too much. That's above his pay grade. You look at Curtis Blades. He's up there in the heavyweight division. Is he the next one in line? Well, we know he's not the next one in line, but is he the next potential candidate? Do you put Curtis Blades versus Volkov as the #1 contender, and then you put, what's his name, Lewis versus Overeem title eliminator and call it a day?
But I even think after this fight, we have to talk about Lewis being back of the line too after this fight, because I'm thinking Nagano, Derek Lewis both didn't do a whole lot for this fight. So back of the line, both of them. This easily puts Derek Lewis 2 fights behind because of his performance. And I also think that he needs to heal up first before we think about getting him thrown back into the limelight. He has way too much issues with that back. And we've seen over the course of the years what a back injury can do to a fighter by taking him out for a long period of time.
And you've seen what injuries have done. And we'll go ahead and get into our break here in a minute. But Anthony Pettis was a prime example of what happens with injuries. And a guy that said, you know what? I need to fight for the fans, not for me. And it got to the point that it was like, we were seeing the demise of Anthony Pettis. You were seeing Anthony Pettis fall off the wagon. It's like, that's not the Anthony Pettis we knew and the fight fans loved. The guy that came out there and said, you know what? I'm going to outshine everybody. I'm going to put on a clinic. Well, this was Anthony Pettis in its finest form against Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa came out finger waving like the Dikembe Mutombo and saying, you know what? You can't do anything to me. Ultimately, he got submitted by Anthony Pettis. Welcome back, Pettis.
I was happy to see Showtime Pettis show up and get that victory.
For me, you got Anthony Pettis saying, give me that title shot. He wants one more fight to prove his worth. So why not look no further than give him the opportunity of the winner of Justin Gaethje versus James Vick.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
But we're the New Cross Brothers Sports Warriors on IELiveTV.com. Also on Facebook Live, just Facebook.com/the New Cross Bros. You can find us on there. But we're going to go to break and come out. We got Dave Manley, MMABobblehead.com on the show.
And to round out the show, we have the hottest topic, Brock Lesnar.
Don't want to miss this.
You're now listening to the Sports Warriors with Sean and Tristan Ducross every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want all your local amateur MMA news? You want a new fresh take on pro MMA? This is your show every Wednesday on IELiveTV.com and Facebook Live.
Hello, I'm Lyle Murdoch of IE Live TV. Have you ever had an idea or dreamt about producing your own show? Or maybe you just have an event that you'd like to make available online? Then contact us here at IE Live TV. We are using the latest technology in live streaming and top quality video equipment in our productions. Servicing all audio and video needs, our systems are compact, wireless, and completely mobile, so our presence is barely noticeable. Here at IE Live TV, we're doing high quality audio and video productions at a fraction of the cost of other production studios. To find us, just go to www.ielivetv.com or give us a call at 866-831-5737. IE Live TV for quality live video streaming.
What's up, everybody? We are the New Cross Brothers, Sean and Tristan Ducross. You want the most authentic MMA bobblehead? You want to go to MMABobblehead.com. Right now, if you head over there, you can get Dan Henderson and Chuck Liddell bobblehead dolls, as well as stay on their lookout for more bobbleheads to come. Go to MMABobblehead.com and use Ducross and get yourself a code. I'm Tristan Ducross, one half of the Ducross Brothers. Let me talk to you about Phantom. Phantom is bringing you closer to the field every day with their Facebook page. From sports, from MMA combat sports to basketball to baseball to soccer. We got every sport covered, from fans to professionals. Just go to www.watchphantom.com. The New Cross Brothers, the Sports Warriors, will be at IE Fight Night Engage, July 28th. We got adult MMA and youth MMA. Doors open for the youth at 11 a.m. and the first fight starts at 12 p.m. Adult doors open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. July 28th, IE Fight Night Engage. Get your tickets now. You don't want to miss this, so hit up the Ducross Brothers for ticket information. iLiveTV.com all day. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We are back. We are live right now on iLiveTV.com. We're also on Facebook.com/the Ducross Bros. Look for Sean and Tristan Ducross. We'll talk combat sports all day with everybody and anybody. But right now, we have the man that is behind the wildest craze that we've been trying to get people to get attached to. Is these, my friend, right here that are in front. We got Dan Henderson's bobblehead. We have Chuck Liddell's bobblehead. And we couldn't ask for anything that's better than this. Boy, were we wrong. Dave Manley, welcome to the Warriors Den, my friend. There's the incredible bobblehead that you just made. Bruce Buffer. The latest one. Go ahead, tell people how this one came about.
Wow, this is a cool story. But anyway, before I get into that story, I just want to say, what's up, fellas? I'm really happy to be here. I listen to your show all the time, so it's great to be on. Thank you for having me on. But yeah, the Bruce Buffer. I told you guys last time I was on, I was coming out with something spectacular, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, and this is it. This is it. This is the Bruce Buffer. I was, you know, the story is pretty cool how I came across the Bruce Buffer because it was an accident how I made Bruce. I was just finishing up the Dan Henderson bobblehead, and I was thinking of the commercial idea that I had for Dan. And if you haven't seen the commercial, it's a cool idea in which I had Dan looking at his bobblehead, and he was looking at it. My idea was I wanted him to look at it like he was reminiscing about the fight, kind of, you know, just thinking about it, you know, in his private time. And then in the background, I wanted it to sound like, in his head, the crowd cheering, and then Bruce coming in, you know, and your winner by knockout, you know, and I wanted it to actually be Bruce Buffer. So I was contacting Bruce's people on his website to see how much that would cost. And I was going back and forth with his assistant or somebody there, and they were saying, okay, wait, what do you want this for? Like, what is this again? And I'm like, I'm doing a commercial, blah, 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 making these high-end bobbleheads. And so like, you know, like, tell me more about it. And I'm like, this is a little weird, you know, to keep going about the, more in detail about the bobbleheads. And I thought I was talking to, like, maybe his assistant or something. And, you know, I put my contact information in. And then I was driving down the street later that day after I sent that message, and my phone was ringing, and it was next to me. I was actually driving, and it was next to me on the passenger side seat, and I looked down, and you know how when you get an incoming number of a stranger, it's just the numbers or whatever? I looked down, and it says, actually, Bruce Buffer on the phone. So I'm like, what the fuck? Come on, man. So I pull over, and I answer, and it's like, hey, Dave, it's Bruce. And it's like, wow, yeah, this is cool. So from there, he's just like, hey, I was actually talking to you online, and I was asking you all those questions because I'm interested in what you're doing. It sounds like an interesting idea. So he's like, tell me more about it. So I told him more about the idea and how I'm hand making all these, hand painting them. I'm doing them like next level bobbleheads, the whole shebang. And he says, I'm totally interested in doing the voiceover for Dan. And he says, you know, and he told me his price that he's going to charge. But he says, I'll tell you what, I'll charge you, I'll give you a big discount if you put me in front of the line and make my bobblehead next. And I'm like, absolutely, for sure, no problem, Bruce. I would love to make a Bruce bobblehead. So that's how the whole Bruce idea came about, and then I just went to the design work right away, and that was about 5 months ago.
When you got Bruce Buffer that comes up and says, dude, I'll do you a solid if you can put me at the front of the head of the line, I was like, yes, please. It was one of the
That's right. That's exactly what I said.
We had a chance to speak to Bruce Buffer, and he was one of the chillest guys that we got a chance to deal. And we dealt with the same thing. We were going back and forth on through whoever we were talking to on email, and then all of a sudden Bruce Buffer calls us up and he says, all right, let's go ahead and do the interview. We'll do it this time. And it's like, okay. And it was one of the most fantastic interviews. It was probably a coup for us at the time that we don't get to do a lot of big, giant name stars sometimes like I view Bruce Buffer. And we talked about his suits. I mean, we talked about everything.
And speaking about his suits, go ahead. Show them. There's something that you put on. Well, two things that you put on your Bruce Buffer was the little saying on the side of his jacket, and then also what's on his ring that you have?
Yeah. So if you guys are fans of Bruce Buffer, a little tidbit about Bruce's rings. Bruce has 2 rings that he wears all the time in the octagon. One, it's a big octagon ring, and it says "It's time" on it. And the other is a family ring that he had made a long time ago. It's got a big B on it for Buffer. So I love that ring. I couldn't get the octagon and the "It's time" in the ring, but I thought, you know what? If you guys could see it right there, I said, I'm going to try really, really hard to get that B right on his ring. And if you guys could see it right there, it's a B right on his ring. It was probably the hardest thing I've had to attempt in making these bobbleheads so far. And I tell people that in making the Bruce bobblehead, I set myself up for failure in making this one. In other words, I set the bar so high for myself in making this one that I thought, you know what, Dave? If I don't reach that goal, if I don't overcome that bar, it's all good, man. It's cool because I'm setting it so high. But I feel pretty good about this bobblehead and meeting all of those goals. I mean, you can see his fight card right there. We recreated the Chris Weidman Anderson Silva fight card. So when you buy the bobblehead, you look really close, you can see their stats really close. So that's not hand painted. That's a water decal that we shrunk down and recreated. So it's really detailed though. And then he has his little bracelet right there, and then on his watch you can actually see the time. There's a face there. And then he's got an earpiece in his ear, listening to the booth, and then his foot is coming off the base. I thought, you know what, Bruce is bigger than the base, and when he makes these announcements for these title fights, it's bigger than just putting them right on his base. So I wanted him to kind of hang out off the base to show the action, and his suit's in action right there, and his pants are lifted up like as if he's just getting
his face is clearly in action.
Proud of this bit. Yeah. Teeth, his little head bobbling there. His teeth, everything. His tongue. We painted his tongue. We gave him little wrinkles on his nose. I'm really happy with this one. And so when I've been talking about my Dan and Chuck bobbleheads, and everyone has been giving me great, kudos on it, and I really appreciate that. By the way, I've always told people, just wait for the third one, without telling them what it was, because I wasn't done yet.
Yeah, you kept telling us, wait for the third one, wait for the third one. And we're like, dude, what's the third one? Like, the anticipation kept building and building.
And then when you released the video of the kid doing that beatbox rap, I immediately was like, dude, Tristan, wait till the end. Like, you get like a quick 2-second blurb that I don't think anybody realized in your tag when you said it's time. And then I don't think anybody really catch that blurb at the end, but I was like, wait a second. I was like, I picked that thing out from a mile away, and I hit up Tristan. I was like, dude, check this out. You won't believe who the bobblehead is. And then when you were down in International Fight Week doing the interviews, and you showcased, I was like, I was right. It is Bruce Buffer.
Yeah. Totally. I wanted to, the "It's time" is so iconic, and everyone knows it's time. Everyone knows let's get ready to rumble. And with the beatbox guy, his name is Villain, I was thinking to myself, what can I do with the "It's time" that just hasn't been done before, that's not cliche? So this whole journey I'm taking is the opposite of cliche with these bobbleheads. I don't want to do anything that's totally been done before. So I took a chance with the beatboxer. I happened to think that it was cool, and then he used the "It's time" in the beatbox. So yeah, and then at the end we show the Bruce at the end. The beatboxing's awesome in my opinion. But yeah, totally.
How did you pick this suit design that you picked for your bobblehead out of the 1,000 other ones you could probably picked out?
Yeah, great question. So, as you guys know, most of Bruce's suits, if not all of them, are very, very intricate. The design, the stitching, the pattern, all that stuff. So, we're hand painting these. So, I want to stay as true to form as possible. And for us to, do anything beyond extraordinary on the suits, it would be very, very difficult. So, There's a photo of Bruce, that's the reference photo for this, and his suit was a dark gray with a blue trim. And I'll put that up, or you can follow me on Instagram, and you can see that photo. I just went with that reference photo. This suit that I have on Bruce here, it is, I would say it's 80% of the actual suit that he wore. His suit that he actually wore, I think, had paisleys and some design on it that we just couldn't do. But the trim, the pants, it was like a tuxedo suit that he wore. So that's what I went for. I just love that suit.
I love all the suits that he does. I don't think there's another man that puts that much time and effort in customizing all of his suits. They're all tailored to him. He has something unique with every single one of them. He's got jackets with its time written on the back, embroidered in his neckline. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of time.
Yeah, and we try to do the suit as much honor. You know, like you can see the buttons, his pocket. We painted a little pocket square right there. Little pocket square right there, and his bow tie, and yeah, we try to give the suit some action right here, and his pants action. You know, you don't see a lot of action in bobbleheads. I mean, not to mention all the other shit that I put on the bobbleheads, but something, you know, like anatomy action that is true to like how the suit would actually hang if his body was actually in that moment, and that's one thing that takes a lot of time and a lot of work to make sure that it's all correct looking for the final bobblehead.
Dave, so if this is your cream of the creme, your elite of the elite that you don't think you can ever outdo, how do you get your mind to wrap around that to push you to even a higher level now?
No, I mean, I don't know how I'm going to surpass all the detail in Bruce per se, but I'm working on one right now. I think he'll be number 6 probably. Number 6 right in there, 5, 6, 7. We're working on that, and I started working on that a few months ago, and I don't know if he'll even be ready by Christmas because the painting is so intricate. It is so detailed, the painting on one particular thing, that it's mind-blowing. When I showed this fighter the final the master prototype, he was just like, I think he texted me back, all caps, holy fuck. And then, you know, just shit, I can't believe it. You know, just text after text, like, you gotta be kidding me. You know, just right in a row like that. And I'm like, yes! You know, because I nailed this one particular thing that, very, very intricate. Although the rest of the bobblehead on the guy that I'm talking about, it's not as detailed as this one piece. But when you see this piece, you're going to be like, holy, how did he do that? And, you know, I can't even answer it for myself. This just takes a lot of time. And he'll be like number 6 or 7.
So what bobblehead is next? When is the release of the next one after Bruce Buffer?
Yeah, so the one that is next, we're going to make that announcement, I want to say first week of September. We'll make that announcement. He's being painted right now, and he's awesome. We went through about 5 different prototypes before the fighter and I both said that's absolutely the one. I was very close on 1, closer on 2, and almost there like on 3 and 4. But 5, it was like boom, that's it, no question. That's awesome. Because we make adjustments and adjust and adjust and adjust. And then finally it just kind of all comes together. And I never expect to hit it out of the park with try number 1 or try number 2. You know, I was downstairs last night thinking about my trip in Las Vegas that I just had, which was by far the best week of my life, by the way. And I was just in my office chair, hands behind my head, leaning back, and I was just thinking, what a journey this has been. It's 2 years to this month, July. It was July in 2016 where I came up with the idea. And for 1 full year, I took the entire year to learn how to do this and figure it out because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And it was year 1 to 2 that I felt comfortable enough to start writing business proposals and putting together business plans and making it more like a business because I felt good enough to present this to the fighters. Well, little did I know that I would get so many no's, right? And I'd get so many just people just not interested, which I found very strange because I thought I was doing a really good job. So for a year, I got no's, a ton of no's. And then finally Dan Henderson said yes. So I was in my office, getting back to the story, when I came back a couple of days ago, and I was looking. I keep my very first bobblehead that I ever attempted to make on my shelf or on my desk, just to remind me, about perseverance and how far I've come after failing so many times. It was Nate Diaz, and I look at the Nate that I've made back then, and it was a total piece of garbage. I mean, it's horrible. It makes the Bellator bobbleheads they released look like, the...
So can we get that?
And... one day I'll show you. I'm a little bit, it's a little bit personal for me, so I don't know if I'll show it to the whole world, but maybe one day I will. But it's a reminder to me that, keep trying and keep persevering. Get up off the canvas and keep going, because next to that Nate is my Nate number 2. And next to Nate number 2 is Nate number 3. And it gets better and better. And I finally made a Nate that I'm really, really proud of. I'm trying to get Nate to say yes, because it's really, really good. And so, I don't want to tease anybody that Nate's coming, because he's not in production. I have one that's made, and it's incredible.
Is he smoking a joint?
Not better than
That's what I want to know.
No, he's not smoking a joint. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know where it's going to lead. I feel like I'm getting better and better and better with making these.
You are, and it's a fantastic work. The reception that you're getting around, all the interviews you're being able to do to get yourself out there, it's been great. At least we do have a hint that the next bobblehead doll is a he. Is it also a champion?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He may be a champion, or he may be a former champion. I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys a hint that the next one is he's a top 5 fighter.
In UFC or Bellator?
Current fighter on football.
In UFC or Bellator?
That's it. He's a top 5 current fighter.
Right now. You're killing me, man.
It's great, but I want everyone to enjoy the Bruce, because the Bruce is iconic. Bruce has been here from the beginning, and he's going to be here all the way until he decides to say no. And then also Bruce, on the personal side of things, Bruce has kind of become a mentor of mine. He's helped me through a lot of things. He's guided me and given me some solid advice that I'll never forget moving forward with this business. And I can never thank Bruce enough for being such a solid guy like that. He's a great, great guy. Well, so one other thing I wanted to mention, and I feel like I'm talking so much, is I'm doing something different with these Bruce bobbleheads. I'm making less, and I'm making them more collectible. They're all going to be numbered. And they're going to come with a certificate of authenticity that's going to be hand numbered, and it's going to coincide with a hologram sticker that I'm putting on the bottom of Bruce here, and that's going to be numbered as well. So once I sell those, that's it. They're going to be gone, and I'm only making 1,000 of them. That's it.
So there you go. Get after it. MMA bobblehead.
You can go to MMABobblehead.com. They're on sale right now for a pre-sale price of $39.99. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's practically what it costs for me to make these things. Like I said, they're handmade, hand-painted. They have never seen a machine. These bobbleheads they're only touched by human hand. So I hope you guys go out and get the MMA Bruce Buffer bobblehead.
There you go. Great job. Keep up the great work. We'll keep on bringing you back with all these insane bobblehead dolls.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. And go to my Instagram if you guys want to see some behind the scenes on how I make them, how he paints them. I sent you, Tristan or Sean, I sent you some pictures of Bruce's head in the raw state, if you guys want to put that up. And Bruce and I just finished designing the box. And the box is going to be super cool. If you guys like the Chuck Liddell box, this box is next level stuff.
There you have it. Thank you, Dave Manley. Follow MMA Bobblehead on Instagram as well as Twitter. Just stay up to date. You don't want to miss out on this chance to get this limited time of Bruce Buffer Bobblehead.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you having me on the show. I'm a big fan. And, I'll send you guys a Bruce Buffer as soon as they come in for your set.
Thank you, Dave.
You very much.
Appreciate it. Until next time, my man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Incredible art. Keep it going, buddy. All right. Everybody, that was Dave Manley of www.MMABobblehead.com. Get your Bruce Buffer bobblehead right now while time is limited. In the meantime,
we're not even going to go into break because we only got 10 minutes left on the show, and we really want to touch on Brock Lesnar.
Yes!
The chaos that ensued at UFC 226. We couldn't go without the show, without talking about this and kind of rewrite what your perspective is on Brock Lesnar. And the
beast incarnate.
The biggest thing about this is the fact that Brock Lesnar is a draw. Whether you like him or not, this guy is the it factor. He was the guy before Conor McGregor. He was the guy that was able to sell pay-per-views when nobody else could, just because of his brute strength, his athleticism, whatever it may be. He was the guy.
And when you're looking at the current state of heavyweight champions, okay, you look at what was going on with the Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier. If you could go ahead, throw that little graphic up on our screen. We got the pay-per-view buys from the two headliners of this pay-per-view, okay? This is what you're looking at right now with the UFC pay-per-view buys between your champ versus champ. Both these guys, sub 300, as low as 200,000 pay-per-view buys. Nothing really to go home screaming about. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So you have your two polarizing champions in Stipe and Daniel Cormier doing okay numbers. Then when you look at your current UFC champions outside of the two heavyweights and the light heavyweight champion, you look at current Robert Whittaker, Max Holloway, and Money Mouse Johnson. The numbers continue to take a plummet when you are looking at your UFC champions.
Look at that. Robert Whittaker has headlined only two pay-per-views. His highest was the second one with Romero. Other than that, he has not main evented a pay-per-view. But how does that indicate that you want to go ahead and watch Robert Whittaker? Max Holloway, the guy who everybody says is the guy that will sell pay-per-views.
Can't sell a pay-per-view.
He sold $230,000 in his second one against Jose Aldo. But then again, that goes to show something else. Jose Aldo can't sell without Conor McGregor. Jose Aldo has been carried in majority of his pay-per-views. You look at then and say, well, Demetrius Johnson, pound for pound, the baddest dude on the planet.
He can't sell a pay-per-view.
His biggest pay-per-view draw was 205 with Carousel.
And we're talking about Brock Lesnar. We're talking about him getting in, calling Nagano a piece of shit, calling Miocic a piece of shit.
Got that video.
Yeah. Can we run that video real quick? Yes, let's run that video. Our producer has that video.
Push me now. Yeah, you're strong. So something with Brock Lesnar. Brock. What does this all mean to you, Brock?
Let me tell you something. I walked into this building and watched the heavyweight disasters from the beginning. Nagano's a piece of shit. Miocic's a piece of shit. DC, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. Come on.
Damn. Right into the screen.
Mic check.
Exactly. And we're talking about bad for business, bad for the sport. How are we talking about that bad for the sport? Yes, he did steroids. Yes, he got caught. He has to go through 6 months of USADA testing to ever be cleared
to compete.
And if he fails one time, he's done. He's kicked to the curb. He'll no longer be able to test in USADA. He'll no longer be able to compete in the UFC. So if he wants to compete, he has to strongly take this very seriously in order to compete for that heavyweight strap.
Because he could very well get popped and out of competition testing.
But look, this is all on the fighters. All on the fighters. If the fighters want to take pride, and Curtis Blades wants to take it up with Brock Lesnar, take it up with DC or whoever it may be, well, we are in the world of entertainment. We are in the reality world.
For the shock value.
Yeah, for the shock value. We are in a world where where your cell phones, your social media, that's what counts.
So, hey, here's a public service announcement to all these fighters. I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers with this comment, but it goes for amateurs, it goes for professionals. I've seen it on Facebook, and I'll say it here. The issue at hand is for everybody that says Brock Lesnar doesn't deserve a title shot.
Go ahead.
He may not deserve a title shot, but unfortunately when you do this, draw 1.1 million pay-per-view buys against Carwin, when you draw 1 million buys for Velasquez and Couture, yeah, you get your title shot. Because when you've got your bottom of the totem pole guys not equaling up to that level, then yeah, you need to do some leg work. So the fighters, if you want to do some leg work, you got to do what makes you successful. Conor McGregor, 1.3 million buys against Diaz, 1.6, 1.3, 1.2. What do those two guys have in common? They both have a shtick. They both get a rise.
They both understand what they are there to do.
They both have that shock value. So if you're a fighter and you're saying, well, why am I not getting that? I've been with the UFC for 12 years.
What have you done?
I haven't gotten a fight, but I'm at the elite. Well, do you talk on the mic? Can you sell a show? If you can't, that is on you. I do not want to hear these fighters complaining about Brock Lesnar getting an opportunity they don't. Because at the end of the day, sell the card, sell themselves. If
what drives the business?
If Stipe Miocic is the champion, talk on the mic. Make the fans
buy into you.
The problem I have that goes with amateurs, the problem that I have with professional fighters is the fact that they don't let the little people in. They only talk to the same big three juggernauts. So how in the world can guys like us, guys like everybody else out there, get the chance to relate fighters to the fight fans when all they do is talk to the same three people, get the same scripted comments over and over? You can't relate. So if you're a fighter that is a professional or an amateur that wants to get to the level of Brock Lesnar,
come to the Sports Wars, come to the new Cross Brothers show, and unscripted, 100% off the dome interview.
I'm sorry, but that's just frustrating to me.
I'm tired of seeing these same written down questions, the same pop shot questions being asked to these fighters, and they're so scripted that nobody cares about them.
Because they just
They
just seem like robots and zombies. And when you're just a robot and a zombie, how can we relate to you?
Yep.
You know, I've tried to get interviews with bigger name fighters, and want to know what? I was big leagued by one. Because, well, you don't get a certain level of viewership. Well, who the hell cares? Because my viewership may tune into me, and maybe it would get you to relate to that fighter on a different level than what you could probably get. Because why doesn't your guy make $500,000? Oh, that's right. Because you're not talking to anybody else. You stay in a cubby. You stay locked up, training. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody cares who you are. When was the last time you saw Max Holloway really do an interview? Outside of the one that everybody said he was concussed on, which I still highly debate it wasn't. He was just drawn out from his weight cut. When was the last time you saw Demetrius Johnson talk? The last time I heard that this guy apparently has his own Twitch account in which he plays video games all night long.
This is very true. He doesn't talk. He doesn't talk. He would probably rather play video games.
So you've got all this going on, and you're wondering about, how did we get here? How do we get to Brock Lesnar and DC?
All about money.
Brock Lesnar
will get you that money.
Has minions from the WWE. Brock Lesnar has a following because he runs his mouth.
CM Punk, granted, one of the worst fighters in the world. He brought his followers from Chicago, from the WWE, from the indie scenes. He brought them. Made money. Regardless of whether you guys like it or you don't, he hasn't won a fight in 8 years. I get it. One was taken away due to steroids. I get it. You gotta understand
but at the
that
end
we are in a world
of entertainment
and social media, and reality.
You know, I hear it all the time that people don't love what UFC does, and they don't love what Bellator
Take away the
does.
3 letters,
and
then
they did that MMA is better overseas. It is. It is on so many different levels. It's just like when you watch WWE, Impact Wrestling, and New Japan. Japan's on a whole nother level. You can't compare that to what WWE and what Impact Wrestling does. Impact Wrestling, Lucha Underground, and WWE are one thing. They're entertainment, and they're in it for the shock value. And that's the culture in the United States and what we are.
We're so inbred and so consumed with fake news and false headlines and pushing buttons that's what we live in. But Brock Lesnar draws wherever he goes. Says a 3.2 million viewers on average for WWE Raw programming. 2.7 on average without him. 14 title defenses with the Universal title in 445 days.
But when you draw,
it don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Nope.
So if you're the fighters out there and you want to get paid, let people in on your personality. Let them in on who you are and what makes you tick. If you want the opportunity
all I'm saying is
let yourself be known about who you are and what you want to be as an MMA fighter, we're your show. Cross that line. Give us the chance for you to relate to a fan that may not care. Because at the end of the day, here's something that's interesting. Go out there, talk to an average fan, ask them who they know in MMA world. They can probably tell you about maybe on a handful, 5 people.
And I can guarantee you it won't be you.
I've talked to about at least half a dozen people about mixed martial arts that are just a casual fan. They can't tell me outside of maybe 5 people. So if you're not the top 5 people, get outside of your bubble, let other people in, let other media networks in, and give you the platform to get you out there.
Let's cross that line. Let's change the script. Let's dive bomb this MMA world on its head.
So go ahead. Hit up our boys. Hit up us. We will have you on our show. We will let the world in. Because if you want to make that money, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Too many fighters, too many people are afraid to talk to the media or put themselves out there. When it's something you need to do either on social media or in the media in general.
Because that's the generation we live in.
Or you're going to get Brock Lesnar. You're going to get CM Punk.
You're going to get other minions that
you're going to
sell a card that you don't.
You're going to get the Hoist Gracies. You're going to get the Frank Shamrock.
Theodore Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell.
You're going to get all these fights
and
over and
they're
over
going to
again
make more money than
you do because you don't speak up. So now is your time. Instead of complaining about on social media.
Let's cross that line. We are the Ducross Brothers, the Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan Ducross. This is my brother, Sean Ducross. Cross that line, folks. We keep it 100%. Opinions, facts, you name it, we will bring it to you all day like the old school shock jocks used to do. No fluff here. Only in the Warriors Den, Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come on, guys. Cross that line. Let's open up that door to these fans and give them a new insight on who you are and why you do this.
Don't be afraid. If you're complaining about wanting to get that money, relate to the fans. Come on. We're the voice of the fans.
Let's go. Change the script. Own the world. Like we had on the other day. Can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? The whole world in my hands. We'll see if it comes up. Oh, there you go. Look at this. Look at this. I got the whole world in my hands. That's how we're going to end it. You too.
You're now listening to the Sports Warriors with Sean and Tristan Ducross every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want all your local amateur MMA news? You want a new fresh take on pro MMA? This is your show every Wednesday on IELiveTV.com and Facebook Live.
Hello, I'm Lyle Murdoch of IE Live TV. Have you ever had an idea or dreamt about producing your own show? Or maybe you just have an event that you'd like to make available online? Then contact us here at IE Live TV. We are using the latest technology in live streaming and top quality video equipment in our productions. Servicing all audio and video needs, our systems are compact, wireless, and completely mobile, so our presence is barely noticeable. Here at IE Live TV, we're doing high quality audio and video productions at a fraction of the cost of other production studios. To find us, just go to www.ielivetv.com or give us a call at 866-831-5737. IE Live TV for quality live video streaming.
What's up, everybody? We are the Ducross brothers, Sean and Tristan Ducross. You want the most authentic MMA bobblehead? You want to go to MMABobblehead.com. Right now, if you head over there, you can get Dan Henderson and Chuck Liddell bobblehead dolls, as well as stay on their lookout for more bobbleheads to come. Go to MMABobblehead.com and use Ducross and get yourself a code. I'm Tristan Ducross, one half of the Ducross brothers. Let me talk to you about Phantom. Phantom is bringing you closer to the field every day with their Facebook page. From sports, from MMA combat sports, to basketball, to baseball, to soccer. We got every sport covered, from fans to professionals. Just go to www.watchphantom.com. The Ducross Brothers, the Sports Warriors, will be at IE Fight Night Engage, July 28th. We got adult MMA and youth MMA. Doors open for the youth at 11 a.m. and the first fight starts at 12 p.m. Adult doors open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. July 28th, IE Fight Night Engage. Get your tickets now. You don't want to miss this, so hit up the Ducross Brothers for ticket information. iLiveTV.com all day.